Here we go. Who is that in the booth? It is Cure coming out for Team A. Team A sending one of their newbier players, I guess. I'm not sure like if there's a PC term for these guys. I mean, they're not B teamers because Team A doesn't really have a B team. They don't have enough players to have a B team. And I guess they're kind of rookies, I guess. I don't know if they're actually rookies though. Have they actually? Like, how long have these guys been pro gamers? I don't know if I can call them rookies either. They could have just been around for a while, but just been terrible the whole time. I don't know if they're all rookies. Basically, he is a teammate player who is not like Baby or Jaedong. I'll just say that. He's a teammate player who's not Baby or Jaedong. So yeah. Anyway. By the way, his other ID is Speed apparently. I'm gonna write Speed because I think it's how he's TLPDized. And he's gonna be facing BByong here, or BByong. I'm not really sure what he wants us to say. I'll call him BByong. Notice he's got 5 losses in his last 5 games. Oh, I just missed it. So yeah, not doing too hot, but that's all right. That's all right. I believe he actually did play one of the ST2 matches yesterday against KT. Let me actually have a look here. Yeah, he was actually the Terran who played against Lizzie on Entombed. So he's switching it out. He's playing some Brood War today, and it's interesting because he's not exactly one of CJ's top Brood War players either. I mean, CJ's lineup, Brood War lineup at least, is relatively deep. I guess it's the same lineup for both games, but I mean, when I talk about how good the players are, obviously I'm referring to their Brood War skills because we don't really know their StarCraft 2 skills. So yeah, the CJ lineup, they have a decent amount of players. I mean, they recently lost a movie because he decided to just, like, I don't know, go emo and go free agent or something. I actually don't know. Was he picked up by Team 8? I think he was. I vaguely recall reading that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it's going to be a TBT here. BByong versus Speed, aka Cure. Is he actually Cure? I'm gonna double check this. Yeah, because there's no there's no Cure in the roster. So we are gonna ally Cure here. He's gonna be the brown Terran. In the top right, we are on Neo Jade. It looks like. And yep, just want to confirm that movie was in fact picked up by Team 8. So that's where he's gone to. And so in the top left, we're gonna have BByong, the white Terrans. So the spawning locations are actually a little bit reversed from what's on the overlay. So hopefully I don't get confused with that. That happens to me a lot. Anyway, yeah, so this is, I don't want to say a must-win situation for BByong, but, the way the format works is that it's a Brood War best of 3. So if Speed can take this game, then he will have won the Brood War section of the series for Team 8. CJ will need to win the next 2 in Brood War to take it. But of course there will be the StarCraft 2 matches after this, so not all hope will be lost. Anyway, a TBT on Neo Jade. Now, the changes to this map from last season, I think the biggest change that will affect this matchup is that the amount of gas at the third base has been greatly reduced. So it used to be a 5,000 gas geyser. It is now a 1,500 gas geyser, which means that the turtling on 3 bases and just massing a huge army isn't going to work quite as well because you're going to run out of that gas more quickly. And in TVT, generally gas is like the crucial resource. Obviously you want to go for those mass tanks and Goliaths, or Wraiths, or dropships, all of which are gas heavy. So really no matter what you do, unless you go for some weird mass vulture style, it's not very common anymore, you really want that gas. So hopefully what that actually means is that we'll see a bit more active TVTs, maybe a bit more 2-base aggression, maybe some more fancy vulture shenanigans considering the mineral values haven't been reduced. Or just generally more active play, more interesting plays, which is not exactly what TVT is known for. Looks like we're going to have a 1-Rax expand from BByong here. He has not taken his gas yet. Meanwhile, scouting the middle of the map for proxy barracks here, very, very interesting. Kind of preparing for some cheese from the Team 8 player. Of course, last season in Pro League, Team 8 was known for being very, very cheesy. You know, I mean, it was partly due to the the lack of practice partners, and I think a lot of people are saying in large part because they spend a lot of their time practicing StarCraft 2. So, you know, if you don't have that much time to practice Brood War, a more reliable way to win is to bust out some cheesy shenanigans rather than play for the long game. Anyway, this one Marine actually from what's his face, Speed, is actually gonna run over here to BByong's base. I don't know why BByong pulled his Marine back there. Did he not get the first shot off? I was not paying attention there, but it looks like second Marine's gonna come out anyway, so that's gonna be fine. I was just a little bit confused why he ran away, even though I thought he had the advantage. Either way, I think, I mean, I'm not sure if Speed's Marine saw the command center, but either way, he is going for a 2-factory build here. Now, that's going to be very interesting because Speed, God, I keep forgetting these guys' names. Ah. Alright, BByong's factory tech is a lot slower, as we can see. That means, excuse me, his siege mode is going to be a lot slower, so, you know, Speed could actually go for some early aggression, maybe set up contain on a BByong. It is a fairly narrow path, as you can see, going from your natural out towards that wide ramp. So it's like it's pretty easy to contain here, and it's pretty hard to break out of it once it's set up. Anyway, let's see what Speed does. He's got an SCV and 2 Marines there. He might even decide to bunker that and then do like a slow siege push into the natural. Either way, nice little wall off there, 1 bunker and a barracks. And what is that? Building a forward bunker there. That's very interesting. It looks like I don't know if BByong has scouted this or he's just playing super safe or something. This doesn't seem. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen something like this where you kind of like what am I trying to say? You build the second bunker in advance like this. Did he actually scout the 2-factory? I'm honestly like a little bit confused right now. Anyway, the first factory units are coming up here. That's siege tank. I don't know if Speed has gone for siege mode first or not. I don't think it matters, actually. I'm pretty sure oh, yeah, looks like it has. Never mind. I don't even need to ask. And oh my god, the commentators are showing he might actually be in range of the machine shop. The issue is, though, I don't think he has vision there. Like, looking at that, I'm fairly certain that that's in range, but he just can't see it. So if he, like, had his barracks there or something and he floated it over, he might actually be able to take down that machine shop. And if he did that before siege mode finished, I think that would be basically instant GG. So a little bit fortunate for BByong that is not the case. He looks like he's pulling a bunch of SCVs to repair the bunker, but it's very difficult against the siege tank because just the splash from those siege shots is going to damage those SCVs. So even if he doesn't target those down, you know, you got to keep switching out the SCVs or you're just going to lose them. You can't just keep preparing forever like you can in a TVP. And it looks like the barracks has finally floated over here, going to use that for some spotting. A couple of Marines getting blown to bits there. Second tank coming in here. It looks like BByong actually went for a 1-fact, 1-port build. He's going to have 1 Wraith out, but there is a bunker with Marines there. But actually, he manages to pick off the siege tank there. I think that was from his own tank shot. He used his Wraith to spot for his siege tank and shot onto the high ground, killed that siege tank. Very nice move there by BByong. Looks like he's going to do a mass repair on his siege tank. Some repair going down on Speed's siege tank as well, but he only had 1 SCV, and that SCV did get taken down by the splash, I believe. 2 SCVs remaining repairing that tank, and it looks like BByong is barely holding on here. Can his Wraith do any more damage? Just like the Wraith was busy shooting the barracks. Now it's going over to poke that siege tank. The Marines unloading from the bunker, but they can't move too close or they will just get pummeled by BByong's siege tank. So it looks like BByong is doing a really nice job of holding on here. I thought he might have been in a little bit of trouble, facing the 2-fact there, but actually he's done surprisingly well. Now he has lost a number of SCVs earlier on when he had to repair the bunker and then repair that siege tank. But he's got the 2 command centers, so he can reproduce those double time. I think he's going to be in good shape here. But we shall see. I believe a command center just now being built for Speed. He looked a little bit nervous there in the face shot. And more Wraiths continuing to be built here. Probably just going to use those to do a bit of harassment, but a armory is already finished for Speed, so he will be able to make some Goliaths to deal with that. And there's no control tower, so there won't be any cloaking on those Wraiths, so he doesn't need to worry about detection or anything like that. Running a few Vultures in here, but I don't think that's going to do anything. I think it did see a Wraith moving out, though. And, oh, it looks like he's actually going to try and intercept these with Goliaths. Wow, very nice little move there. just running his Goliath up to that 12 o'clock base to just intercept the Wraiths as they came in, but it looks like the Wraith's going to just sneak through anyway. A control tower is now being added. Now I wonder if, is that going to be for Cloak? Yes, it is going to be for Cloak. It could also potentially have been for dropships, to maybe do some fancy drop harass or something like that, but no, it is going to be Cloak, and it looks like the SCV that was building Command Center is going to be killed just seconds, literally seconds. I think that Command Center had 1490 HP. That's literally 10 HP from completion there. It's a little bit hard to tell from the resolution, but yeah, that is just you know, a second or two from finishing, so that's really annoying for Speed. In the meantime, it's funny because BByong's tank line is actually quite far back from his natural choke there due to the earlier aggression, but I think he can move that forward a little bit now, give himself a little bit more breathing room. Either way, the Command Center is now up for Speed as well. He's taking that gas as soon as possible, as you can see there, and going for another attack here. Now the thing is, you know, the Wraiths are annoying, but it's still 2 factories for Speed against the 1 factory for BByong, so BByong's ground army is still going to be inferior to Speed's. And Speed's going to try and capitalize on this by moving out with his ground force. Just leave a couple of Goliaths at home to defend. Of course, Goliaths are extremely good against Wraiths here. For you StarCraft fans, I mean, Wraiths are kind of like the Brood War equivalent of Banshees, except they do shoot air-to-air as well, and their anti-ground attack is really quite pathetic. It's a meager 8 damage, those little pew-pew lasers, and they're quite fragile as well. So 1 Goliath can, I think, by itself hold off, you know, 3 or 4 Wraiths. Maybe even 5 Wraiths, actually. I'm actually not sure exactly how the numbers work out. Unfortunately for him, though, he has no detection. This delayed Cloak doing an insane amount of damage. His academy is finished. He needs to build some comsat stations. There, the comsat's just now starting. But in the meantime, losing so many SCVs to these Wraiths. Oh my goodness. These Wraiths, I guess he didn't expect that delayed Cloak here from BByong. I didn't really expect it either, honestly. I mean, it is possible, but wow. That is just ridiculous here, just losing all of his SCVs. Interestingly, the supply is actually still staying relatively close. BByong just slightly ahead, even after all this amazing harass. But I mean, you know, that's mainly because of this big ground army that Speed has. Pretty soon, I think BByong's going to be overtaking him in the supply with his superior economy. It looks like he's going for a break here. I don't agree with this. No, is he going to break? No, he's just advancing his position a little bit. Okay. I was going to say, if you go for a break with the siege tanks, you need to have some kind of units in front to tank the damage, like vultures, or even marines or Goliaths or SCVs. But you can't just run the siege tanks by themselves into that kind of tank line, or you will get destroyed. It looks like it looks like he's using some the increased sight vision that he has. Yes, very nice move. Basically, he saw that the spotting barracks of Speed was too far back, so he actually inched his tanks into range of Speed's tanks, and he had vision and Speed didn't, so he got the first shot off anyway. Very nice little move there. Honestly, it's a bit of an amateur mistake by Speed to allow that to happen. I mean, that's the entire reason that barracks is there, is to spot for the siege tanks. For those of you who don't know, siege tanks can actually shoot farther than they can see. Which earlier on was why we saw that he couldn't kill that machine shop of BByong's. But yeah, that's why you always need something spotting for your tanks, either a floating building or a wraith or something. You need to have something in front, otherwise your opponent can do exactly what we just saw and inch his tanks forward. I think it's actually the same in StarCraft 2. I actually remember watching a Kawhi Rice play a game where he just actually got killed 20 free siege tanks just by abusing that feature. Anyway, it looks like BByong is just slowly but surely pushing back this contain. Just honestly partly by Speed's own mistakes. Actually, I'd say this is entirely Speed's own mistake that he's allowing this to happen. It should not be so easy to push back a tank contain like that. But both players taking quite a bit of damage on their barracks actually. And oh my goodness, a couple of Wraiths flying back here. I don't know what happened there. I think BByong might have just shift-clicked those Wraiths back to his natural, not really paying attention to the pathing, and they just flew right over some Goliaths there. So losing a couple of Wraiths for free, not ideal. But this Cloaked Wraith just doing so much. These Cloaked Wraiths, I think, have won in the game. I mean, between the SCV kills and, you know, the spawning that they're providing. And anyway, hold that thought. Looks like there's a drop coming in here. 1 siege tank and 2 vultures going into the main base. The SCVs are not being pulled. There is 1 Goliath to help defend. It looks like Speed is just going to try and attack this with his SCVs and the Goliaths. The Goliath's going to do a good job against the siege tank, but he's once again losing more SCVs. His economy has been so hurt this game. So even if he has somewhat of a contain right now, just eventually he's going to get worn down here. Looks like a third command center actually already finished for BByong. Thinking about floating that down to the that left side third base, but obviously he's contained, so he wouldn't be able to get any SCVs out there anyway. I guess he could use his dropship to ferry some out, but he wouldn't be able to defend it though. So, excuse me, deciding not to do that just yet. Anyway, 4 vultures out now. And actually lay some mines. Yes, very, very nice move. Laying spider mines in the reinforcement path. Now, spider mines are not, are relatively not as effective against mech units, just because of instant shot. Like, they're a lot better against dragoons, or mainly against dragoons, really, just because of the slower shots. But you see, the tanks and Goliaths can A-move across spider mines if you have enough of them. However, if speed just like sends 1 or 2 units, just small handfuls of units across those mines, they will get taken down. In the meantime, we saw a few more SCV kills by those vultures, and BByong just slowly pushing this back. Interestingly, it looks like he actually siege on the inside here and just kind of use that position to defend his expansion. I mean, even though he's been doing really nice economic damage, he is still kind of contained. Ooh, nice shot on those sea shanks. He is still kind of contained, and Speed is getting his own third up, so he can't wait around for too long, or Speed will just catch up eventually. Although if we look at the supplies, BByong is way ahead. Almost 100 supply now against the 71 of Speed. So I think this is going to be extremely difficult for Speed, especially given how sloppily he's been playing, honestly. 2 dropships going out now. There's only 1 Goliath and 1 Siege Tank defending that third base. And there is the drop. It looks like 2 tanks and 4 vultures for BByong here. Going to take that tank out very quickly here. Now, it's very interesting to note the differing unit compositions as well. Speed, having gone for the more factory focus, is making, primarily Goliaths and tanks. BByong, though, is spending some of his gas. Ooh, nice mine there, killing some SCVs. BByong is making dropships and has made a few wraiths as well, so he's spent quite a bit of gas on that, which means that instead of making Goliaths, he's supplementing his tank force with vultures instead. Of course, vultures only cost minerals. But either way, looks like we might have a break here. He's going to drop on top of the Sea Shanks and go in on the ground as well. Does he have enough, though? It doesn't look like he has that many units. This could actually be very costly if it doesn't work, but I think it is barely going to be enough here. Yes, it is actually. Winning that handily with 6 Sea Shanks. Wow, actually, never mind, a lot of Sea Shanks remaining. So he's broken the contain, and that was really all that Speed had going for him. Without that contain, he's actually got nothing. He's got an inferior ground force, even though he was, factory focused. He's got no starport tech. He's way behind on SCVs, I think, and I don't know what he's gonna do. Like, he's down 50 supply right now. It's really up to BByong to decide, do I want to kill him now or just kind of drag the game out a little bit. To be fair, it's very difficult to end the game in a TVT. Terran's defensive capabilities are pretty good, and especially in a TVT where you don't have any really good killing methods like doing a recall or whatever. It can take a while. But let's see if BByong decides to put him out of his misery. Anyway. Looks like another dropship flying around here, probably going to drop behind the natural, do a bit more harassment. And a starport just now going up for Speed. Meanwhile, the ground army just kind of chilling in the middle of the map there. He might actually do the drop and kind of pull the ground units back and then go for an attack at the front, but it looks like he's just moving in straight away here. I'm not sure about this. He's lost all his vultures almost immediately and taking severe damage on his siege tanks, perhaps getting a little bit over-aggressive here, but how much damage is the drop doing? It looks like there's 4 vultures, but the vultures getting pulled away by a siege tank. They should be attacking the SCVs. They are not going to do a lot of damage to siege tanks due to damage types, of course. But it looks like just laying some spider mines here at the natural. Any tanks or Goliaths that come out will have to be very, very careful here. And now he's just murdering the SCVs at the natural. It looks like a scan went down. Yeah, a scan going down there so he can clear those spider mines. But in the meantime, he's losing so many SCVs to these vultures. Oh my goodness, more SCVs even coming out from the main to help out and kill these. But they will finally get cleaned up. But when the dust clears, we see that BByong has gained himself an even bigger supply lead now, 133 against 75. Pretty soon he's going to actually be double the supply of his opponent, and that is not going to be good for Speed. Meanwhile, there's a white blob at the bottom left, although I don't think that's a command center. It's off position, so I'm actually not sure what that is. It could just be like a floating barracks or something. I'm not really sure what's going on down there. Anyway, vultures and tanks moving up here towards Speed's third base. Now, I'm actually curious what his dropship count is looking like, because, you know, one way to break these big tank lines is to just load up a bunch of dropships and drop all over them, as we saw earlier on when he was breaking the contain. But it looks like instead he's just going to lay spider mines all over the siege tanks here. Aggressive spider mine laying, and the last one doesn't go off, but he does clear a large number of siege tanks there. Very, very nice move from BByong here. I'm actually quite impressed by BByong's play. You know, he didn't really play many games in last season Pro League. Oh no, I'm sorry. It looks like that was a command center. He just built it off place and then like floated or something. I'm a little bit confused by what just happened there. Anyway, looks like Speed gonna try and hold his ramp here, his wide ramp, but BByong just gonna go for the kill, laying some more offensive spider mines. He doesn't have that many vultures left, but they still do tank some damage here. Draw some of the fire, and looks like, wow, he just has an overwhelming force here. Yeah, he's not going to mess around. He's just going to go for the kill. I mean, he has taken a 4th base at the bottom left, but really it doesn't matter at this point. He is just walking into the natural here. Speed is completely dead. He is completely dead. He was making another command center as natural to float out, but yeah, that's not going to go anywhere. And that's going to mean that we're going to have a tied up score here, 1-1. It will come down to the 3rd game. There's the GG from Speed, aka Cure. And BByong making a funny face there. Looking pleased at his victory. I think he actually just broke a big losing streak. As we saw on the overlay before the game, he had at least a 5-game losing streak in televised matches, I think. Probably more than that. So yeah, good job BByong. I mean, you know, Speed isn't exactly the highest caliber of player, but a win is a win, especially on TV, so congrats to him. And we will be going on to the 3rd and deciding game for the Brood War section of this series. Yes, the casting is live, Emperor Kira. All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is set 3 of the Escape Planet Pro League Season 2 match between Team 8 and CJ Antis. And sorry about that. Get some